So this is an updated video from the Swiftmailer tutorial that I did, actually going on about 3 years ago. There's been quite a few changes and improvements, and obviously we have to update. Things are not quite the same as they used to be. Used to be you could just go and download the files, and you can still do that from GitHub if you want. Actually, it's much easier if you use Composer. I have this Composer installed on. I have Composer installed on my Mac, and it's installed. It's set to run from global. Since there's an alias in there, so there's an alias in my bash preferences. So basically, from anywhere, I just need to run sudo composer require Swiftmailer/Swiftmailer and then @stable, which will give me the most stable release, most recent stable release. All right, so I've already done that, and basically what this will do is, let me get this out of here and start with a fresh palette on the terminal. All right, so basically it's going to give you all of these library files and the vendor file from Composer. Okay, so all we have to do really is call the autoload file inside the vendor folder. All right, and also just for the video's sake, I'm also going to be requiring and pulling in a credentials file that has my username and password, so I don't expose that to the world. And as far as the Swiftmailer files, all we need is vendor/autoload.php. All right, and that will pull in everything we need. Okay, so we're going to need some steps similar to before. We're going to start a transport, create a transport. And we're going to create a Swiftmailer instance. Create content. Create a message. And send it. Alright. And so the first part, I'm going to use transport as your variable. And we're going to use a new instance. Now I'm going to use my Gmail server, and this actually is the first improvement over the older versions. Before, it was quite a trick, and I never even really got it working, to be able to send from a local server like MAMP or WAMP or XAMPP. Now it's no problem, and it's for me that's huge because I can do all my testing on a local server without actually having to mess with something on the live site. All right, and so what this is doing is we're just telling it the host, the port number, and which type of encryption we're going to use. All right, here we're just going to set our username and password. And again, this is coming from that credential file. And really all this is doing is just making sure that I don't give everyone my password. You would normally put your own password in here in quotes, okay? And we don't need that semicolon. All right, so now, our Swiftmailer instance, and we will use the Swift variable, which is just easy enough to remember. And we're going to call the transport. All right, so for content, we're just going to use something really simple. the message is going to be very similar to what we were doing before. And actually, to be honest, most of the changes are behind the scenes. You're not really doing a whole lot different from the initial, or the first instance of this that I did the video on. A lot of the commands are very similar. Alright, and we're going to be using the same type of sets, set from, oops. Alright, so we're going to use some arrays. For both the to and from. Just call it Dave, even though it's not. Alright, now in the body, we're going to call the content, and it's going to be text/html. And I only need one set of parentheses there. Alright. And for text only, we're going to use strip tags. On the content, and that'll be text plain. All right. Send message. All right, so that's really it. Basically, from here we can run our index file. Line 14, where is it? Oh, 2 L's. All right. And so there is our test, and there it is. So this is really a slightly newer version with more updates in the back end that you obviously can't see. You know, I'm sure there's much more in the lines of security and stuff, but it's also made it easier to work on it from a local server. So if you have a 3 or 4 month project, chances are you're going to get an update in between. Just running rerunning Composer, reinstalling everything, getting the updated version is going to be able to give you the most up-to-date version before you go live with it. It works from a local server, which is a huge improvement over the other one. Not only that, it just makes it that much easier when you use Git to push your local changes up to the live server. So it makes that deployment that much easier. To me, it's a win-win. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and if you were coming here from the older version, you know, sorry about that. It was 3 years old, and you know, it was definitely time for an update. Thanks again.